Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled, Accepting People as They Are. In order to accept people as they are, we need to let go of how we need them to be. And so this is where we start in this journey. I'm going to lay out 4 steps of accepting people as they are. But first of all, this extends to all types of relationships. Okay, it extends to friends and love relationships and acquaintances and coworkers and children of yours and parents and siblings and family members. No matter what the relationship is, there seems to be this tendency to need people to be things. And sometimes they're willing and able to be those things, and other times they're not. So that's what we're going to explore. So the first step of accepting people as they are is determining how do we need them to be. Okay, and this requires a level of honesty to be willing to look at yourself and to be really honest with yourself. Like, what am I hoping or wanting this person to be? And some of these qualities might include, do I want them to be emotionally available? Do I want them to be capable of love? Do I want them to be able to love and accept me as I am? Maybe as my ex wasn't able to, or my parents weren't able to, or am I really needing them to get me and accept me as I am? Or perhaps in a friend type relationship, am I needing them to be trustworthy and reliable? Or am I needing to be fun and spontaneous and adventurous? Or do I need them to be have an open heart and be open with their feelings? Do I need them to be open-minded? Do I need them to be spiritually aware? Do I want to be able to, if you're watching this video, perhaps you want them to explore your spiritual practice, your spirituality with you, and talk about these cool spiritual concepts. Are they willing and able to do that? So the second step gets to be is once we determine, what do I need them to be? How do I need them to be? Then the next question is are they willing and able to be that? And I say willing and able. Willing means, are they interested in being what I need them to be? Is that something they want to be and are? And the other thing is, are they even capable of it? Sometimes the things we need people to be, they're not even capable of it. They don't even know that exists. We want them to be spiritually aware in a way that they can't even conceive of. We want them to have unconditional love that they haven't near done the work to be able to do, or to be emotionally available. That takes a lot of work. You probably have worked on that yourself if you're watching that video. And so the capable part is really challenging. We assume that other people are willing and able to do all the things that we are and that we want to do. Not necessarily so. So the third step is, once we determine, are they willing and able, is to accept them as they are. And this is a step that you may bump into some resistance. You may not want to accept them as they are. And the reason is because when you accept them as they are, you officially need to let go of how you need them to be. And when you let go of how you need them to be, there may be some feelings there. There may be some sadness or some grief. It's like, I needed them to be this, and they're not willing and able to be that. Now all of a sudden, it's really sad. Okay, and so for this reason, is we sometimes, our mind and our ego fights this one. It's like, I'm not going to let go of how I need them to be. And there's this stubbornness or this willful thing that can come up here. So this third step is really important, is we got to cross over. If we want to be free and we want to actually find someone that can meet our needs, we've got to accept them as they are. So the fourth step is very practical. Now that I've accepted them as they are, what type of relationship or how does it make sense that I relate to them? So if they are emotionally available and capable of depth, then it makes sense to have maybe a deep relationship with them, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship. If they're not willing and able to be emotionally available, be open, and to go deep and to be intimate, then it doesn't make sense to try to do that. We adjust. It's like, but maybe they're really fun and exciting, and then we could go out and have fun and explore with them, And so it's like adjusting, the type of relationship to have with them based on, who they are as a person and how they really are and what they're interested in, rather than us kind of willfully, trying to have this type of relationship regardless of how they are. My teacher used to call this, going to a tire store looking for a hamburger, and so, in other words, like we're barking up the wrong tree would be another expression. And so this creates all kinds of stress, and it creates relationships that don't work. It creates kind of this betrayal cycle because we need them to be one thing. We keep expecting them to be that, and then they let us down, and then we're betrayed. So it's real easy to blame them on, they betrayed us. Well, we kind of set ourselves up to be betrayed. We took someone that wasn't emotionally available, say, and then we expected them to be emotionally available, and then they weren't, and then we're like, oh, well, they betrayed us, they let us down, and now I'm sad, and now I'm mad at them. Well, we got to look at what our part of it is. They're just being who they are. It's our job to figure out who they are and how we can best relate to them. So anyway, that's my video blog for this week. I wish you a great week where you can accept people as they are and have a lot of love and beauty in your relationships and relations this week. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in a week.